War Thunder's April Fools. I played some of this yesterday on that like Afghanistan desert map. It's pretty interesting. So far I realized that helicopters tend to be really annoying with their laser guided missiles if you get a good player on them, because they can hit you from across the map. I mean, I guess you can do that with really, you know, the other things too, because you great magnification on the guns, but it's a lot easier to do in the helicopters just to get better visibility. So, two shells, and I see a lot of like the heat fin stabilized. And armor piercing discarding Sabo shell, which the armor discarding Sabo shell has better velocity, but it often like doesn't pin at weird angles, I guess. I mean, it does pin, but it's more of a if I was using the heat and stabilized, I would have had that shell that he was using, though, is the armor discarding like Sabo shell. It looks like a dart, kind of. It's pretty good penetration. It's like 700 or something, like some insane 700 millimeters anyway. Yeah, 700 at 10 meters. So it's pretty good. The heat is like 400, if I'm not mistaken, which isn't bad since we don't like get to see the models of the tanks. You don't really get to see like the actual armor, like the effective thickness of the armor. I'm guessing because like, if you angle your tank, the armor has better effective thickness than it would if it was not angled. So. Let's see about that. So that was a lower plate shot, which is why I got such a good pen. Alright, that was a bad shot on my part. Alright, well, he hit my gun barrel, and if you shoot with a broken gun barrel, then you will, more likely than not, break your gun, which is bad. But it seems the lower plate shots is what often gets the tank static. Where's he Where's that shot? So this is realistic, so like enemy player tags don't show up. Okay. I'm just gonna bail out of this tank, so in this event, you get unlimited spawns, which is why. Well, there you go, helicopter from across the map to this enemy. You know, use this spawns, nice. I mean, I can spawn it with a helicopter, but they're really big pain to fly anywhere. Do it. So, So it's not exactly ideal to shoot these guys with a beam gun tank, but if you hit them, they go down. Alright, nice. Oh, there's a guy. We're about to die. helicopter. Alright, I'm gonna try out an AA just to see if I can't deal with these helicopters. Because, once you get surrounded with helicopters, it's very hard to do much of anything. Up. Sweet. Alright, well they're at our spawn, which is pretty annoying. Once again, I'm not a very good helicopter pilot, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. I mean, I'm sure they're fun. I've piloted them a couple times, but yeah. No, come back. There we go. So we had a little friend in the back of our spawn just now. Oh yeah, that guy's gonna die. There's no way. Oh, hello? Okay, well, that's cool. I guess I'm hitting him with like 100 and what? 20mm gun? Doesn't kill? Okay, let's keep that in mind. Ooh, we have another buddy over here. Yeah, alright. Okay, well, it's about time to try out a helicopter then. So this guy's want to be friends. So.
Need backup.
Alright.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone. We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Sweet. There's a buddy down there. Alright, what do you gotta take now?
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone. Attack the B point. Destroy hostile troops. Enemy forces have captured a zone. If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and dip. Alright, we have a little buddy down here that's play. So I think that those rockets aren't Like I think those rockets depend on the attitude of the plane, or the attitude of the helicopter rather. Like I think they're just dummy rockets that you shoot off like in a normal plane match. I'm not 100% sure of that. Alright. That was actually pretty fun. So, I played on PS4, right? So, me trying to use a mouse in this is actually kind of hard. Just because I have to use a touchpad, and the thumbsticks, or the joysticks rather, are more for manual controls, like, you know, right, left, and then, you know, so forth and so forth. But, yeah, so depending on where you put your circle at, it's probably a lot easier for PC players than it is PS4 players. Because on PC, I believe it's shift and control that, you know, they only have like 3 buttons, while I'll have, you know, I mean, I'll also have 3 buttons, but controlling the actual plane is a lot more difficult. Helicopter again. Yeah.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
We got a crit, and then we got blown up. So, I am going positive. Well, I guess you can say positive. I've killed more players in my helicopter than I've died. So I believe I've taken out, what, 2 or 3 helicopters now? So yeah. Oh, 7 deaths. Well, okay. Well, we're not positive, but we're positive in the helicopter at least. It would be a lot easier to control these missiles with a mouse and keyboard, simply because you're not dragging your thumb across the surface. I mean, it would be like playing this on the laptop, I guess you could say. So, I mean, it's not unbearable, but it's not exactly.
Forces have captured a zone. Attack the A point.
Oh, let's see.
Defend the B point.
Okay, what the heck are you doing? Alright. Well. Yeah, we got that. Alright. That's not helicopter for right now.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Alright, so this the HeatFS show. It's also known as CheatFS because you can find it from almost any angle. But I've come to realize that in these tanks, it tends not to matter. Because pretty much no matter what you do, it's pretty hard to defend a tank from the front in this. I mean, you can hit them like through the gun mantlet, which is in the front of the tank, like right here where the barrel is, sort of. But it's a lot harder to do because your shell might not go through. Like I've gotten perfect shots on the T90's gun mantlet and the leverage a couple times now. I have no luck in actually penning it, which, you know, is what it is. Alright. Well, that sucks. Some places are bad though. Too bad you can't get any lions or anything. So I guess they removed the desert map. So I guess what they did is they did like a hot fix overnight or something, and they added in the other two things. Like another map, rather, not two things. What am I talking about? Alright. So it looks like the Leopard is the more popular of the two tanks, at least on my side. No, it looks like a pretty even mix. I personally prefer the Leopard. I mean, the T90 gets a ATGM rocket. Yeah, I forget what ATGM stands for, but it's like something guided, anti-tank guided. So, yeah, anti-tank missile, I guess. Which is cool. But it goes really slow, and you know, you're better off just using this to like Sabo shells anyway because they have less drop off. I mean, ATGMs have 0 drop off, but it doesn't matter with these guns really. I mean, unless you're using HeatFS, because HeatFS tend to have a lot of drop. Heat shells tend to move slower because they have the same pen at any distance. Because it's high explosive anti-tank and anti-shaped charge. So with the shaped charges,
Allied forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
but with okay. So the shape charges I was trying to say is they get the same penetration at any angle, or any range rather. Their penetration drops at different angles. Simply due to the fact, you know, that it has to go through more. Like if you hit it on a diagonal plate, it's less likely to pen. I mean, well, it depends. There's but at like a diagonal angle, it's still likely to penetrate, but can also bounce or rotate or whatever. Which is why I guess they allow them at lower velocities, because you know the lower velocity shells are more likely to do something called normalization, which is where the shell kind of conforms to the armor. I came up for spawn, it looks like. Alright. We need to get out here. Have a run here in a minute. Yep. So normalization is when a shell has like soft metal on the front of the shell so that it kind of conforms to the armor so that it easily penetrates the armor. And then the shape charge, it has high explosive in the back of a like almost a parabola, and then the explosive force creates a molten jet of copper, which then, you know, shoots through the metal and like spreads out the atoms of the metal, or you know, melts the metal, whatever it does, and then goes inside and kills the crew. You have to be really precise with each shells, because if you don't have ammo or you don't hit 3 crew in a row with it, you're less likely to kill the tank, at least in War Thunder. Where most tanks have, you know, 5 people. I mean, some like T-34s. Well, most German tanks anyway. T-34s and like the Russian tanks tend to only have 4.
Forces have captured a zone. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone. Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Anyway, I'm back from my juice break. Alright, so...
Attack the C point.
He's watching me right now. Maybe he will. I don't know. But, so far, I've realized that high tier tanks are really annoying to play. You can get lots of kills, they're very mobile, at least a Leopard 2. But it's very awkward to penetrate enemy tanks. Because in these upper tiers it seems to be either a hit or a miss with these tanks. Like, well, I mean, I guess that's with any, tank, but it seems that, oh yeah, it seems that it's either a one-shot kill or you're sitting there for half an hour shooting the guy. Which, okay, what the heck? Drew, going forward quickly. Alright, we're just gonna sit here. That's cool too. Alright, so it seems to be...
Enemy forces
that, you know, you either hit that ammo rack, you either knock out their crew, or you're just gonna sit there and kind of pepper them for like a good 20 minutes. Shot? Oh, is that an enemy? No, it's not.
A little more effort, and victory will be ours.
What are you doing, gun? Gun.
Repairing.
Alright, so see, I missed the ammo rack right there. Alright, but there's the ammo rack.
Allied forces have captured
But I also
the
got the
zone.
last crew member, so.
Reloading.
Alright, looks like we have another enemy. Right over here. So I guess it's a leopard on lethal, so the gun can't go down when it's behind the tank. I have to keep that noted. There's a 290 over here somewhere.
Need cover.
Am I getting this point down there? Yeah, there.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
Alright. So neither one of those guys realized that I was there, which is kind of cool. But it's probably gonna happen to me now, so. That's right. No, it's not that bad. But, like shooting through that engine right
Allied
there,
forces have captured a zone.
normally with a lower penetration shell, you wouldn't have been able to kill that tank that way.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
I mean, it's possible with like a shell,
Pressure on.
but it's unlikely because the engine blocks like the majority of the damage that you do with your shell. But yeah. So I guess we're headed over to their spawn right now. Okay. Alright, well, that was a good game. This is the other map. So this is like the desert map. So I'm guessing this is during the Gulf War. It's like these tanks, while they're not outdated, because the Germans and many other armies still use Leopard 2, these are like the older variants, I think. Same thing with the T-90, 'cause I'm pretty sure the Russians are putting in a new service tank. And with the newer tanks, they have, I thought they had, like blowout things for the ammunition. So if like the ammo gets hit and it decides to cook off, like it doesn't kill all the crew. haven't noticed that. I mean, it looks like it would have access to hatch the ammo, is like it's destroy the ammo. Because during the World Wars, when a tank would get hit in the ammo, it would cook off and kill a lot of people. And I know the Russians had a lot of problems during maybe the Croatian conflict or whatever that was. I believe the T-72s, I may be wrong. Where their tanks were its ammo would cook off and kill the crew. It's a problem. So then they made the T-90 to replace the T-72. Or something along those lines. What do you think? This is gonna be cute. Let's do this. Oh boy. Alright. Well. Alright. That was really bad. Things being added, you know, based on how this test goes, based on the overall balancing that's introduced in the game. Because with these tanks, if Cold War era tanks are going against these tanks, it's going to be a major problem. I mean, I guess it won't be. Like, I guess it's going to be so unlikely that it just won't happen because. Like, it'd be literally impossible for it to happen with this tanks at 8.0 or whatever. It won't be going against 13.0. But, you know, they're gonna have to add a lot more content into the game to make this happen. Like, I'm pretty sure this is an April Fool's thing. Like, this could, like, never be added into the game, which would suck. Or it could be added into the game. Remember last year they did the pirate, like, pirate-based thing, and they ended up adding ships. Alright, which is zero. So they ended up adding ships, which I'm not too fond of. The ships are kind of a letdown. I was hoping it's going to be battleships. Yeah. Cool, because like, War Thunder's main competitor is the Wargaming. Is Wargaming really? Gaijin's main competitor At least in this. And I mean, that's a personal opinion. But since they have similar games with similar content, since the games are so similar, I mean, they're similar, but they're different. You know, like War Thunder actually does, you know, armor and stuff, while Wargaming mainly does hit points and that sort of thing, especially with aircraft and stuff. War Thunder actually does like damage modeling and all that, which, you know, I guess it depends on the person and what they want to do. Alright, let's go.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, wow. Alright. Sayonara. Or maybe not. Okay, can I hit this ammo, please? That'd be pretty cute. Oh, wow. There we go. So the angles on these things is amazing. The way you can pen. Anyway. It's just pretty sweet. Because normally that shell would have bounced right off the top. But since it's a armor, snap them right in their spawn, aren't they? Oh no. I'm done. I'm about to be killed. I mean... Oh, wow. There's no point in staying. Trying to do it.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Keep it up and victory will be ours.
I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. One. So I think I'll play 2 or 3 more rounds of this, and then I'll start playing, like, actual games. The stream, because I've been going for like about an hour, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Alright, so this is the field side of the map, generally on this map anyway. If you drive over here, you get a good overlook of the battlefield, and you get to see them as they come out of their spawn, and get really good shots on them. And typically you can one-shot them from across the map. Which can be annoying for them, but always fun for you. Just have to get to the right spot, which is over there. So I guess we won't get to the actual point, so we got this going. So you probably won't actually see any action until, oh, that's not that far out of the way. There, screw it. I see a little satellite or radar dish. Oh yeah. Alright.
Have captured that zone. The enemy has taken the initiative. Attack the A point. Attack the D point.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for those. Thank you for those that watched. I'll probably do another one later. But,